happens to be the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas is afraid of a statue. At least the legislature is. The state's legislature is afraid of the goat-headed statue.
And apparently somebody's upset about our show tonight.
Really?
Get over yourself.
Who's that?
Somebody I would expect would be thrilled. Just whatever. I'm so over people.
What are you talking about?
Look at the little angry.
Well, that must be it could be angry because members of Congress are refusing to hold town hall.
You never know. It's like, okay, so somebody's angry. It's
no,
like,
I don't think they're angry. I think they're mad about what we're talking about.
Are you angry about what we're talking about, or are you angry about the fact that we are talking about it? I wish it...
somebody's calling.
Facebook
hold on a second.
sucks.
Oh, I think I muted the wrong person. Oops, hold on. Hello? Are you on the air? Who's this?
Hi, Carolyn.
How did you know it was her? I don't even want to know.
Just never mind, okay? I just knew.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well,
I didn't.
Wait a minute.
You should have messaged me because I was paying attention to 3 different screens.
No, it's totally hard to dial when you're sitting on the phone. So congratulations to you.
Wow, I can't believe you would go there on the air. Wow,
I just did.
So you obviously been listening to what we've been talking about. What do you think about this whole firmly held religious belief and how it is geared towards everything or protecting Christianity and dissing everybody else? Oh, the Center for Arizona Policy backed. Yeah, I don't remember if I. Oh, they write these bills every year. Oh yeah, the resuscitation thing where, if there is a detectable heartbeat, you have to do everything to try to save. Yeah. Center for Arizona Policy is just wonderful about that kind of crap.
So are they going to pick up the cost for all the medical bills after the person actually revives? Give me a fucking break. Sorry.
Right. She got to live out her last wishes.
Isn't that the whole point of a living will? Is you decide how you want your last hours in this miserable world to be? I mean, honestly.
Well, it's like my mom. Okay. My mom has a living will, and she specifically says that in her living will that she does, do not resuscitate. She doesn't want to be kept alive on machines because her quality of life is shit. So she says, if I'm left alive, pull the plug. And honestly, today, actually, a friend of ours from work, his family had to make that decision for his father because his father had heart attacks and he was being kept alive by machines, and they had to decide today whether or not to pull the plug. And it's a tough decision, okay?
But it should be their decision.
But it should be the family's decision, not some doctor who may be offended by the fact that somebody does not want to be resuscitated. It's where does one person's rights for religious whatever cross over to just decimate the rights of somebody else? And that's the problem with this whole bill and this whole idea is that if somebody does not want to be resuscitated because they don't want to put that burden on their family, their final wishes should be paramount to whether or not somebody agrees with it or not.
And hello, it's not all about wishes; it's about finances. And I hate to be that
let's
cold about
not even
it,
think
but-
about finances. It's not the finances part. It's just that, for example, if my mom says pull the plug, if I'm do not resuscitate, I'm so scared of my mom because of she's been in the Navy that she'll beat my ass even after she dies, that I will pull the plug because that's what she wanted. That's what her final wishes were. And for the government to be able to come in and deny my mom that final wish, to me, is a piss off to a veteran who has served this country for 25 years.
And what are they getting out of it? She's not going to be paying taxes
Nothing.
anymore. I mean,
Nothing.
They're not gonna
it's
get
religious
anything.
based. It's religious based. All life is sacred.
which
blah,
is
blah,
why
blah.
we need to separate. That's the only wall we need to build right there. Damn it! God damn it! There, I
Easy
said it.
turbo.
I'm sorry. It's really.
So, what do you guys think about the
aggravating.
price of tea in China? Wow.
I think it's gone up a bit over the years.
So,
Sorry, I was so
my,
quiet and I
my
bit my
mother-in-law
tongue.
wants
But
to talk.
ugh.
Can I put her on the phone?
Yes.
Her name's
Who
Lori.
are we putting on the phone?
Okay, here she is.
Who's this?
Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I sound young, but I'm old. All right.
Yeah, I'm old too. That's
I
okay.
used to work on an oncology unit, and I was with a patient who had a double amputee, and just a lot of other things along with her blood sugar problem. She had a DNR, and when I was doing my rounds, her blood pressure and her pulse could hardly be heard. She had the DNR, remember, and I went out to tell the head nurse, and he ran back and said, well, we got to try to help make her live, to get her to the point where she was able to be coherent. That's the word. And I went back there, and then he comes running back and says, we have to resuscitate her. And I go, but she's a DNR. And he said, was there any pulse or blood pressure? And I said, you could barely even hear it. She was ready to go. And they were going to go against her wishes. Well, they took her down to the ICU unit, and they proceeded to give her shocks, where they make her body just come back to life. Anyhow, I was watching this. If you've ever seen anybody go through that shock, I'm sorry, I can't think of the word.
I've seen it.
You would be like, this just isn't right. This woman asked and said she wanted to not be resuscitated, and they were doing that. And after they finally got her back, she only lived about half hour maybe after that. And the nurse took me aside, and she said to me, "You don't ever do that again." I said, "But the person was a DNR." And he said, "That doesn't matter. It's not your decision to make." And that's why I came out and told you, I told him. And then after that was done, I couldn't contain myself, so I went down in the stairwell and proceeded to cry because they were fighting against what she wanted. And that's why I believe that people who have that DNR, I can't understand why the doctors and the nurses who continually to revive that person should have the right to do that. It just makes no sense to me. It's asinine when somebody wants to die and they have that on their chart, and you go against that chart. That's going against hospital policy.
It was very disrespectful to the person.
Yes, it was. The poor lady, when they went to do the shock, her whole body arched. And I stood there watching, and it was like, oh my God, they can't be doing this to her. So
was it like a
really
shot of
upset
adrenaline
me.
or something?
No. The paddles, where they do
the defibrillator.
shock.
Yeah. Well, they try to restart the heart.
My mind doesn't. Right. And her whole body just lifted and arched to the point where you could almost see on her face that it was hurting. And just like, how could they even do something to any human being who decides they don't want to live? So that was a experience I'll not soon forget. And they also did that to my father when he was dying. And I talked to him and to the nurse, and we both heard him say, "I want to die," And one of my older sisters came in and said, "You need to do everything to keep him alive." And he was on the end of battling cancer. So I knew he was in pain. So that was hard to watch. Very hard.
And it really is. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's so many different factors that come into this. And one of those is the actual suffering of the patient. Keeping a patient alive may actually be the worst thing for them.
How is that not inhumane?
Well,
they're suffering.
It could easily be inhumane, like that.
Yeah.
What was that lady in Texas? I think that they kept her alive. She was brain dead, and they kept her alive for 2 years.
Yes.
And there was a big court battle.
And that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's
right. So
if you respect life, you have to respect death.
Especially if somebody says, "Hey, if it comes to this point, let me
die.
Let them die."
Yeah, that's their final wishes.
Right.
Like my mom, she has a DNR, and I will do nothing to piss her off, because if she wants to DNR and she gets to the point where that's it, then I'm not going. Although I wouldn't like the idea, I would have to pull the plug, because that's her final wishes. I have to respect her final wishes.
Well, and as a son, if you don't respect them, the rest of the family will get pissed off too. Think about that. Of course,
you might get static from the rest of the family.
Well, and the fact that you're diminishing the life. I mean, my mom is 72. And she's lived a long, full life, and her wish is do not resuscitate. What am I doing to delegitimize her life by disregarding her final wishes? It's just horrible to even have to be in that position, but it's the right thing to do.
And the government, my goodness, they shouldn't even have a say. Stay out of it.
How could they even